Hi everyone, I'm Emily, Marketing Executive here at BBD Boom. Today I'm really excited to be joined by David English from Antivo to talk about their journey with HubSpot. David, it's great to have you here. Before we dive in, please could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Antivo and your role there?
Sure. Thank you, Emily, and thanks for making the time this morning. So my name is David English. I am the Group Marketing Director at Antivo Group. We operate a number of brands in the US, UK, Ireland, Italy, and many other countries, primarily offering certification services. These are mostly ISO, but also aerospace, cybersecurity, recycling, and many other industry-based certifications. My role is primarily driving demand and building the brand in the different territories and different brands that we offer.
That's great. So I know your team was already using HubSpot, but what were some of the biggest challenges you were facing at the time and how did that impact your team?
So I think it's interesting to start from the very beginning with us. I joined in 2019. At that point, we had HubSpot implemented and it'd been there for about 6 months. But it wasn't really being used by the team. It was being managed by an external agency, and we didn't have any marketing resource in house. And at that time, we just had one brand, British Assessment Bureau. We were primarily using it to track website visitors and capture leads from the website and forward those onto sales. All of the other great tools that HubSpot has available to us wasn't really being leveraged. So as we grew as a business and we acquired new companies from across the globe, we realized we actually needed something that's far more suitable to a bigger organization and a more complex organization to give us the ability to see everything that was happening. So as we acquired these other businesses, and we've bought over 30 in the past 6 years, we had to find ways to integrate them. So as we built the marketing team to support that, we realized this tool was something that we could really take advantage of, but we didn't have the expertise in house to really make use of it. When we realised the benefits, and we were referred to BBD Boom by one of the team at HubSpot, we had a long chat about the opportunities for both sales and marketing and how it can be implemented into our business, and the relationship began.
That's great. So once you started working with BBD Boom, what was the approach our team took to tackle these challenges? And in terms of the actual solutions, what were the key components we put in place to help you get the most out of your portal that really made a difference for you and your team?
Yeah, that was one of the great things about working with BBD Boom. At the time, I think they were a platinum partner. And we have worked with other HubSpot partners in the past, but they hadn't been quite able to really help us realize the benefits that BBD Boom were able to. So when we started that relationship and explained what we hoped to achieve, BBD Boom were able to add lots of additional layers of ideas and ways that we could leverage the platform, and they really have come to fruition. So one of the key challenges that we had was using two separate systems to drive our sales and marketing. So I referenced earlier that HubSpot was very much being used by the marketing team to onboard leads and see what was happening. But once we hand over to sales, we couldn't join up that customer journey in the same way. So we were able to pull that sales journey out of our separate ERP system and bring that into HubSpot. And that's been really transformational for us as a business, both in terms of the internal staff user experience, but also actually we see the same thing for customers. They also see a much better experience, and our conversion rates have improved significantly since bringing those two things all together. And BBD Boom were able to layer on lots of additional ways that we could take advantage of that platform and bring those benefits to life.
Love that. So now the big question, what kind of results have you seen since implementing these solutions? Are there any specific wins or improvements that have really stood out to you?
The benefits have been huge. I mentioned earlier that the significant ones we've seen has been internal user experience, the insights that we get from customers, being able to see where they are in the client journey, being able to understand how long it takes from that first touch point, their first visit to the website, often when they're an anonymous visitor, all the way through to their first purchase, which for our business, which is quite a complex business, being able to see how long it takes to get through that journey, but also the steps that they take, many of times of which there dozens of steps they would take over many months before they actually convert. Those have been the key benefits from an insights perspective, but also being able to manage the complex nature of our business across territories, across brands, across products. We had over 50 products within our portfolio, and each of them can have their own unique journey, their own unique timescales. Previously, there would have been separate businesses and separate CRMs, and we wouldn't be able to join up all of those insights. Now we can see the full picture, from cradle to grave, if you like, but also across all of those countries and brands. And given that each of those products is going to have its own multi-touch points, we can see which things are having the biggest influence in helping them to move through that journey from lack of awareness through to awareness, interest, and then taking the action to convert.
When looking ahead into the future, do you have any plans to scale HubSpot further or any upcoming projects with BBD Boom?
So we're a private equity owned company, and we're very much on a buy and build journey. I referenced the 30 plus companies that we've bought over the past 6 years. Almost all of them have now been integrated into the core. Bringing all of those insights and all those customer journeys into one place gives us that great insight. But because we are on that buy and build, we will be buying more brands. And therefore, those brands will also need to be integrated. So yes, it will be growing just by the very nature of that. But one of the key things that we use the BBD Boom team for is for creating those additional benefits that we certainly couldn't do in-house. So, for example, with those 50 different products that we have, being able to introduce individual life cycles and being able to track all of those for the new products that we bring on board, any new journeys that we develop, and any new complex strategies that come about because of the constant updates and the improvements that HubSpot are making, particularly now with the advent of AI. Every quarter, there's some significant new improvement that we're taking advantage of where we can do in-house. But it's bringing BBD Boom's wider market experience into the mix, which then helps us to realise the full potential of those benefits.
Sounds like exciting times ahead then. So lastly, for businesses out there who are in a similar situation to you, what advice would you give them?
HubSpot is a fantastic tool, but let's be honest, it's not for everyone. It's not a cheap solution. It's a value for money, fantastic solution if you can take advantage of it, if you've got the right business model and solution. So I would say consider which platform you're going to use. And if you are going to use HubSpot, then make sure you understand the why and what benefits you're going to get from it, and make sure you are going to get those benefits. I think it's all too easy, and I have seen it elsewhere, for businesses to implement a CRM and then just tick the box and leave it running just to capture data. That's no use. If you're going to invest in something like HubSpot, you really need to take advantage of all of the benefits. They have lots of different elements within HubSpot that you can purchase within sales, marketing, content, commerce, and so on. You need to think about which ones are going to be right for your business. BBD Boom, for example, could work with you to tell you which of those solutions are right for you and how your business could benefit from those things. But the real benefits are by looking at the longer term opportunities that having all of those insights into one place and all the other tools that HubSpot offer, and how those are going to drive real commercial value for your business.
That's some really great insights. Thank you. It's been fantastic hearing about your journey and the impact HubSpot has had on Amtivo. And for those watching, if you're looking to get more out of HubSpot and need a partner to guide you through it, feel free to reach out to us at BBD Boom because we'd love to help. Thanks again, David. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I really appreciate your time today, and I'm sure this conversation will be valuable for anyone looking to optimize their HubSpot setup.
Thank you, Emily. It's been a pleasure.